listen to this crack. So these here dumplings are like a Japanese gyoza and a super spicy Thai stir fry. I had a love child. So the first part of the dish is to get the Thai spicy element going. And what I'm doing is taking the ingredients from a very traditional Thai stir fry called pad grapao, and it is garlicky and chili and spicy and has this really beautiful basil flavour. So we're going to get that going first. Now what I need is some garlic, and I'm going to make a little paste here. And I want some of these bird's eye chilies. Now these guys are hot. It's supposed to be hot, but if you would like to make it milder, you can just use like a larger, milder chili, but I'm going to go for these hot ones. And then I just want a little bit of salt because that helps to sort of break down everything in the mortar. So just a rough paste is all you need. And already the smell is making me hungry. This is pad grapao is a dish that I have for lunch, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 times a week here in Bangkok. I just can't get enough of it. Now the other essential ingredient for the specific Thai flavour that I'm going for is Thai holy basil or hot basil. That's the basil that's called grapao here in Thailand, and that's the traditional basil for the pad grapao stir fry. Now you can tell that you've got the holy basil by looking at the edges of the leaf. You can see it's a little bit like a jagged edge and the leaves are a little bit furry. Okay, now this is the part where everyone starts coughing. Open up your windows and be prepared for the chili. Okay, so a little bit of oil, and I want to get that paste in there. That sizzle. Now throw in your basil. And then the extra seasonings I need are some oyster sauce, some fish sauce, and then just a little dash of sugar. Whoa, that is hot. Okay, so this is the basic pad grapao flavouring all done, and I just want to get that cooling off before I add that to my pork mixture for the dumplings. Okay, so my mixture's nice and cool, and so I'm going to just get my pork into a bowl, add in that spicy, fragrant mix, and then you want to mix this through really vigorously. You'll see that the pork will start to become really sticky and tacky, and that will give us the right texture for the filling of our dumpling. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. Now the type of dumpling wrapper you want here is a wheat wrapper, so either a gyoza or a pot sticker wrapper. I happen to have some of my homemade wrappers here that I keep in the freezer. There's a recipe for those on my YouTube channel if you would like to make those, or you can simply use a store-bought wrapper as well. So you want a little bit of your mixture into the middle there, and then just start pleating on that top side first, and then you want the other side, and just push that together. Now with the homemade wrappers you won't need water to get that nice seal because they're quite moist, but if you're using a store-bought wrapper you might need a little bit of water just to help with that seal. Okay, now look at all these guys, they're so cute. All right, time to do the cooking, and we're going to do a bit of the fancy pants Japanese restaurant kind of lattice work cooking on our gyoza today. So I need like a flour water mixture, which is going to create like a crust on the bottom of our dumplings. So just a little bit of corn flour and some water. Okay, I'll just leave that aside for later. Now in my pan I want a little bit of oil. Just wait for that to get nice and hot. And the whole point of this cooking method is not just because it looks pretty, but because what we're after is a whole bunch of different textures. We're after like a crispy, crunchy bottom and a lattice kind of crunchy texture. And then we're after the chewy top of the dumpling wrapper, and then that really yummy, spicy, cooked center. So that's the whole point of this little process. Okay, so my oil's hot and I want to pop these in. I just want to hear like a slight little sizzle as they go in. Now I'm trying to get them into a fairly compact little circle here because that will make it easier when I go to turn it out at the end. Now what I'm looking for here is just a nice little bit of colour on the bottom of that dumpling, which I can see there. I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit, and then in goes our corn flour mixture. Now lid on and steam these for about 8 to 10 minutes until they're cooked through in the centre. Now I can see most of that liquid has evaporated, so I'm going to take the lid off, and at this point I just want everything to brown up and become really nice and crispy on the bottom. Now these have been sizzling for about 3 or 4 minutes, and I can tell we're getting to go time because when I shake the pan I can see those dumplings moving. There's nothing sticking to the bottom. I've got some nice colour, so I think it's now the moment of truth. and plate goes on top and one flip. Around a bit, and there you go. You should have a beautiful lattice work, crispy crust on that bottom. Oh, look at that. Now that's just joyful. Now this is totally optional because there's a lot of spice in those dumplings, but I like a little bit of fish sauce with some chopped chili and a little sprinkling of spring onion. Now, would you listen to this crack? Ah, amazing. Dumplings make me so happy.